Hi, it's Tanya Williams here, author of A Child-Free Happily Ever After, and I am continuing my interview series called The Child-Free Why with Lacey. Lacey is a contributor to A Child-Free Happily Ever After, and we're lucky and grateful to have her contributing her child-free thoughts with us. So if you haven't checked out her articles, please go to the website and have a bit of a read. You'll find some great stories there. So welcome, Lacey.
Hi, Tanya. Thank you so much for having me. I love being here.
Absolute pleasure. And it's so nice to actually get to meet you and have this conversation in person. Well, in virtual person.
In virtual, the new in person.
That's right. Can you just do a quick introduction and explain to people who you are?
You bet. I'm Lacey Pruett. I live here in Dallas, Texas with my husband and two stepchildren, and we have two doggies who we dote on very much. I'm an author and a yoga teacher.
Awesome. I love it. So you're very busy.
Yes, I do tend to stay busy, yes.
I love that. Can you tell people why it is that you chose to be child-free?
Well, the decision really was easy for me. Once I met my husband and I learned about more about him and his desires not to have any more children, he did come to my life with two children already. So I am a stepmom, and our lives always been full. So for me, it was a very easy decision. I didn't need to add anything else to our plate. And Tanya, I'm not one of those women who needed to reproduce to feel complete. I've never been that way. I've been a career woman. I've had different roles that I play in life, but if it happened, great. I never really gave it much thought. So when I met my husband and he was pretty firm in his decisions, I wanted to respect that. And I wasn't about to lose this amazing man just for this opportunity to may or may not have children later in life. Yeah. So for me, it was a very easy decision. I chose him and we haven't looked back. It's still a very full life.
Yeah. So for you, it was, you could have maybe gone either way going through life. It's like, well, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Like it just, you weren't really 100% sold either way.
I think as a young girl and, a teenager, I just thought eventually it would happen without me thinking about it. Yeah. But, life goes on. I called off 2 engagements. I was really hesitant to even get married. I was still am a really independent woman. There's a lot I want to do and see in life. And as women now, we have so many opportunities. I just never felt that pressure from myself to have children. Instantly enough, when I made the decision not to have children, that's when a little bit of the pain started for me, because I saw how people on the outside, society, started treating me. And that's when the comments came, and that's when the misunderstandings started. And I found myself trying to sell that decision for other people. So I had to work through a lot of that, Tanya. And finally, I just settled on, it only has to be okay with us. Me and my husband, our life it's very full. It has to only be okay with us. And we're hoping that everybody else can just get over it.
Yeah. And I love that attitude, because exactly that. It is absolutely no one else's business. It doesn't impact anybody else's life in any way. And I never understand that, where people get so passionate about something that doesn't impact them. And it's like, it's my life. Why are you so upset about my choice? I don't understand that. I never can understand that.
Absolutely. And it really did create some pain for me for a few years, because it was like overnight.
Let's talk about that. Like what have been some of those challenges that you faced?
Well, all of them blindsided me, because again, I didn't realize that was the way womanhood was going to do it. If you weren't a part of the mom table, they were going to kick you out. But I did experience that, sadly. And I don't think anybody meant direct harm, but they definitely did harm me. All of a sudden, I didn't get the invitations. All of a sudden, I got a lot of misunderstandings. All of a sudden, some of my girlfriends just became non-existent. It was hard for a while, but I had to reset my mind. I had to stay firm in my decision for my life. Thankfully, I do have an amazing husband who supported me, and it became a really deep journey. And okay, Lacey, why am I picking these roles for myself? Where's the power in that? What options do I have? And the world opened up, Tanya. As soon as I became firm in my story, it was like, bam, the universe just said, okay, now we can start living. And I love that. Yeah. So it did turn out to be good.
Did you find that when you were going through that, where your friends were maybe cutting you off or cutting you out and not including you and so forth, that it made you want to be more vocal about your choice, or did you want to sort of pull back and go, well, maybe I need to just not say anything and that is going to help things? Like, how did you find that?
At the beginning, I was very insecure. As soon as this started happening, I thought, yikes, for the first time, I'm not good. I'm not doing what society wants me to. I'm not making people smile. I'm not giving them what they want from me. And it felt awful. It came from, indirectly, it came from family. It came from friends. It seemed like for a while it was all around me. And I was sad. I started to second guess, okay, what have I done? Am I going to ever be accepted again for who I am? And I was really sad that we as a society are still so closed-minded. I think there's a lot of work we can still do in this area. As women, we have a lot of options in life. Motherhood's just one.
Exactly. I 1000% agree with that. And unfortunately, when you go against the status quo, not everyone is comfortable with that. But, I'm a big believer in surround yourself with women and friends that will empower you and accept and respect your decisions. And to me, then, if they can't do that, then they're not a true friend.
It was a hard...
will be there for you in ups and downs, whether they agree with you or don't agree with you, and whatever the choices you're making. If they're your friend, then they should be there regardless, and that's heartbreaking.
It is, and it became this, tunneling everybody, or funneling, I should say. There were some friends that really stepped up, and they were saying, good for you, Lacey. I'm so proud of you. Some would share, reactive decisions. Had I had these opportunities, motherhood doesn't always ask permission before it shows up. So with some of my girlfriends, they're like, yeah, good for you for, just using your options, using your choices, and I was very focused on that decision, very clear in my decision. And it was nice to have that support too from some of my friends. But gosh, I look back, the majority were very hard they weren't understanding. It was a very difficult time in my life.
Well, how did your family react? Were they okay with your choice, or?
Most supportive. The way it happened with family was, it wasn't outwardly they were all supportive. Lacey, we want you to be happy, do your life the way you want to. It was that behind the scenes, it was the missed opportunities to go to a baby shower. It was the missed opportunities at the conversation at the table, where they're all talking about the different ways to, breastfeed as opposed to bottle feed. These conversations about, family insurance and, what's the best thing. I just sat, I had to be an outsider in conversations. All of a sudden, anything I was doing with my life wasn't as important as everybody that was raising babies. And that was hard on me. I just wanted a seat at the table for so long. Eventually, I think we started to get this new normal where everybody does have a seat at the table now, and they try to include me in different ways. And of course, I love my nieces and nephews. I feel like that's my role of nurturing in this life. There's so many, funny enough, I wasn't a mom by the traditional, way.
You're a stepmom.
But I feel like I feel like I nurture a lot.
Yeah. So how has that been for you? So obviously not having, and I mean, it doesn't matter whether they're your own kids or they're someone else's kids. I mean, you're still, probably a mum to them. How did that adjustment go for you to be like, well, obviously they probably feel like your own children anyway, do they?
Well, they're obviously not my biological children, but they're very much the relationship that I've been allowed to have with them. I have more resources now. I do have some more opportunities that maybe I wouldn't have had I been a traditional mother, really all engrossed in raising my own children. So I love these creative opportunities that I have to travel to my nieces and nephews. And even my girlfriends who have children that I'm really close to, I have a bond now with them that their moms just don't have. It's not better or worse. It's just different.
Yeah. Oh, look, and at the end of the day, everyone has to do what makes them happy. And I think there's a big misconception that, if you don't have children, then you hate children. And that's certainly not the case. I love spending time with my nieces and nephews, but I also love leaving them and coming home.
Yes.
And there's no reason why you can't have kids in your life just because you don't want them, biologically.
It was really painful for me when people just assumed I didn't like children. I
Yeah.
love being around children. I think children are closer to God. So I love hanging out with their creativity. And so it broke my heart when people, it's almost like they didn't even ask us. They didn't care about the truth. They just assumed. And that was
Yeah.
hard.
Yeah. So to finish then, what is it that you love about being child-free?
Oh gosh, how much time do we have? So now that I've gotten accustomed and really secure with the decisions I've made in my life, my husband and I have options, all over the place. And I love that we can just use our creativity, use our freedom to, help where we want to, give our resources where we want to. We get to just leave town at the drop of a hat and go see the world. The world really opened up for me when I became secure with my story and myself.
Yeah.
And it's almost like the world, it's just, there's so much opportunity
A
now,
weight's
and I
been
love
lifted
it.
and you can just go and enjoy life.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. And you can bring along some children who may not have a great setup at home, and
Yeah.
they need that encouragement and that laughter and that bonding with you.
Yeah. Oh, I can love that. Thank you so much for sharing your experience. And, as I said before, like we all have different circumstances and different experiences, and yours is unique in that, you are child-free technically, but you're a stepmom and you've still got children in your life. And I think that's
Yes.
fabulous. So, I'm always like, do whatever makes you happy, and you obviously are happy, and I love that.
Well, thank you, Tanya. And I love the mission you're on as well, because women need to know we have so many options. We can serve in any role we choose. And I'm fired up to share that message with you more.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much for being part of my child-free world.
Thank you.
Thanks, Lacey. We'll talk to you very soon, I'm sure.
Yes, take care.
Yes, bye.